God is not the author of confusion. You know what? Jesus came and he said, I know where I come from and I know where I'm going. Now, I just love this one scripture in Isaiah 46 verse 10. He says, the end is determined from the beginning. So it's like God knew all the time what he was doing. That's why history is actually his story. But Revelation tells us that we must hear what the Spirit says. And unless you hear with the spiritual ear, understand the spiritual language. It's a language of numbers. It's a language of symbols. It's times and seasons. And it starts right in Genesis 1. So God knows exactly what he was going to do. And we have to understand that and step into what God has for us. When he made man, he said, I want you to rule and reign and have dominion. It never changed. Even when Cain came, he had to rule and reign and have dominion. He actually warned him and said, sin is lurking at your door, and he missed it. So this pattern goes right through history. But there is a time that man came to the point where they couldn't do it themselves. And what Jesus came to do is he came to bring us that kingdom, because it is now proven over and over and over that man cannot help himself. And he said, I'm going to bring you a kingdom, and I want you to be rulers and reigners in that kingdom. That's why it says we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. It's kind of like exactly the words he said to Moses. He wants them to be a royal priesthood. And they missed it totally. And that is the removal of everything. And this is what the Bible is all about. God is not confused. The word is not confused. The interpretation of the word is misleading. Now, God doesn't want us to be deceived. He really doesn't want us to go around not knowing who we are, where we are, what we're doing. He wants us to step right into our promises. That's why he came to buy us out of this. And he made us kings and priests to rule and reign on the earth. And unfortunately, the Christians just want to fly away. Well, I know. Paul says it's for me to live is Christ, but to die is gain. It's actually better to go, because there is perfection. Here we find ourselves saved and sound, but in an imperfect, fallen creation. But that is exactly why God has put it back into our hands. He wants us to step up and do something for the creation we're in. He wants us to be revealed as the sons of God now. So the book of Revelation is not a spooky book. It's not something to fear. I don't know why people have used it through the years to scare people. I was so scared of Revelation and the rapture and the coming of the beast. I went to Bible school because of fear. But you know, God sets us free because he has not given us a spirit of fear. Now, understanding Revelation is sometimes a little bit difficult, because it is, you must remember, it is a vision that was given, and also Genesis was a vision that was given, so we must understand it by the Spirit. Now, God said to me that the book of Revelation actually only have 5 topics. The first is Jesus Christ. The second is what is done for the church and the letters written to the church. The third is how he dealt with the adversary. The adversary is the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. The dragon, we know that's the serpent. The beast, the systems of the world that started in Babylon, which forms the battle of the 2 seeds. And the false prophet was the woman that was to bring forth the Christ. The system, the woman. So Mary was a woman and the Lord was a woman. And the system became a false prophet. And she was riding the beast. In Revelation, it's got nothing to do with our time. It's not a book to fear. It's not a book of, it's actually a book of showing you the total victory that Christ has wrought on the cross and the finishing of the work. That's why on the cross he said it's finished, and in Revelation he says it is done. It is complete. So what remains now? A life in the Spirit. You know, on the cross, Jesus even took our judgment. And now, if we do not believe on him, we do it to ourselves. No one else is to blame. not even Adam. Because Jesus became the last Adam, and then he became the quickening spirit. He was changed into the quickening spirit. He took the judgment for us. Now, the judgment is that light is coming to the world, and people love darkness more than light. It's time that we move on to what Christ has done on the cross. It's our time.